I'm feeling very proud of myself right now. I drove in the snow even though I saw that it was sticking to the roads because I have piano lessons to teach. In an hour, I might be feeling really stupid. You see that? I drove in that. Look how treacherous that is. Seriously though, sometimes this can make the roads an absolute mess. It's an hour later after teaching 2 lessons. Woo! And I'm falling. And that's how much snow is already on my van. I'm fine, I can do this. So I have to get more comfortable with this because my son goes to college over the pass now, and eventually I'm gonna run into some snow. So I have to overcome my fear. There was a time where we almost died. I'm not exaggerating. We spun out on I-84 on the way to Idaho. We stopped facing the wrong direction. And it was a miracle that we didn't hit anything. So I'm just starting off in first gear, and people can be angry at me all the way home. I don't really care. If they don't like that I'm going 10 miles per hour, well, they can bite me. There are always people on our community Facebook group saying, if you're scared to drive in the snow, then stay off the road. Don't go anywhere. You should drive at least blah 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 miles per hour. And those are the people who think they, quote, know how to drive in the snow. You know, they can defy the laws of physics. It's not looking too bad. Our streets just turn into massive sheets of ice sometimes, and it is terrifying. One time, this guy crashed into my friend. Actually, it was in this town. And he apologized and he exchanged info with her, and then he crashed into another person, and then he crashed into like 3 more people, and she's like, what is wrong with him? Okay, there's no one coming, plenty of time to turn, and I'm gonna take a different road because it's a little more level. And yeah, because this turn up here, if you're turning right, it's kind of steep, and sometimes even when it's raining, my tires will spin a bit. So I'm gonna go straight, and it's a bit more windy, but I think it'll be fine. It's supposedly 34 degrees right now. So usually when it snows here, it's more slippery because you're really close to just barely freezing. And you have more traction when it's super cold. Someone said something that made me laugh today, which is, no one takes trips to Washington to go skiing. That's so true, because lots of times the pass closes because there are accidents all over the place. So when our son came home for Thanksgiving, he was supposed to come home on Tuesday, but the pass closed, so we had to wait until the next day. I'm going about 15 miles per hour. I don't care what anyone thinks. If I mess up my van, we are screwed. Right now, if you get into a collision, your car is going to be in the shop for months because they're either waiting on parts or they don't have enough staff to do the work. And that's just one of my biggest fears right now, because I desperately need to have my car. I have to get Andrew to work every day. I have to get Jared home for Christmas. He's gonna be home for, I think, a little over a month. I'm getting a little more comfortable with downshifting and stuff instead of slamming on the brakes. Give myself plenty of time. I think I got it. Or not. This person might be mad. Sorry. There was someone who broke their axle turning into our neighborhood. So the main road was fine. And then once they turned, it was very slippery. Got to turn into our neighborhood now, so it's not too long of a drive. And this person can just relax and realize they're not going to be stuck behind me. Here we go! Whew, I'm in our neighborhood. It's going to get a little more difficult now because not as much traffic in here. Once I reach our driveway, I can breathe a sigh of relief. I didn't want to cancel lessons again today because either my students have to cancel because they're sick, or I have to cancel because I'm sick, or someone in my family is sick. And I really like to give everyone the lessons that they paid for. The snow's so pretty on the trees. Another thing I need to learn is how to put the chains on my van. So I've never done that, and that's kind of pathetic, I guess. Oh, it looks like my husband just got home with our son. Yay! He's probably nervous because he saw my van was gone. And he knows I freak out when I drive in the snow. But I did really well. He looks impressed. I don't know. Alright, and don't crash into my husband's truck. There we go. I did it! Look how pretty our tree is now. Wow.